Hi, how's everybody doing today? This is Joe with Bourbons and Birds. I ended up with an unexpected purchase yesterday. I went to visit Nancy's sister that she'd had a surgery, and we thought we'd just make a quick stop up that way and see how she was doing. By the way, she's starting to do pretty good. Um, and Rich and I went out on a little bit of a bourbon hunt, which it's hard for us when we get together if we've got a little bit of time. We don't make some kind of a stroll someplace, even if it's, just a quick stop to shop to a Hy-Vee or a local little liquor store or something. I didn't get any of it filmed. I probably should have. We had some great conversations. We stopped in at Liquor Lovers there in Ankeny. It's not very far from where Rich lives, and had a great conversation about bourbons around the area, and all the high end bourbons, and just bourbon talk with the guys there. They are super knowledgeable, and they're not just knowledgeable about bourbon. If you guys need to go any place and you have questions, that's the big thing. If you've got questions, this is a great place to go. These guys love to talk about what they've got. They are so vested in it, and it's just a great liquor store. It's got a really good selection. They have raffles every once in a while for the stuff that they've got in. It was allocated stuff. They've got some E.H. Taylor up on the shelf. I think they had a Stag and some other stuff and everything that in your area might be fairly common, but in Iowa, some of that stuff's pretty hard to get hold of. So anyway, I was there, and they had just recently got in a new bottle of Angel Envy. And Angel Envy is a darn good bourbon, especially for a lighter bourbon. It's only it's like 86 proof, maybe just a hair higher than that, which is lower than my traditional wheelhouse. But I've drank a lot of it and everything, and I've had a bottle for quite a while, and it's getting towards 2/3 empty, maybe a little less than that is left. So I thought, hey, this would be a great opportunity to put that new bottle that came out, because what it is it's a state pick. I've never seen this before. The state of Iowa, since they control all the liquor that comes into our fine state, they actually did a selection with Angel Envy. Pretty weird, I know. And it draws off at 110%. So we know that's more than likely not cask strength, but it's definitely way higher than a 96 proof. A lot of people have talked about that Angel Envy it's a good bourbon, but it's just lacking a little bit of a profile. It comes up a little short in a lot of different categories. And what I'm hoping is this higher proof one will check some of those off, especially for the high proofers like myself. Rich loves high proofs. I think a lot of bourbon enthusiasts kind of get that way because you get so many more flavors and everything off of those high proofs. You drink them, small sips, and it's really nice when you pull a flavor that maybe you didn't get the last time and everything. And it's exciting to enthusiasts. To my wife, she just doesn't understand it. She says it still all tastes like drinking Sharpie markers. so that's how it is. So let me give you a quick rundown of what I've got here. I'm going to change the camera around, and we'll be right back. Okay, so here's what I've got today. I've got the new Angel Envy that it's a single barrel picked by the state of Iowa. It's a state of Iowa barrel selection. It's got the barrel number and everything on it. And then the traditional Angel Envy, setting at 86.6. It's a little higher than 86. If you can tell that difference, bravo for you. I can't tell that difference. Now, if we look at the color, see if I'm behind it and see if I can kind of bring these up, you can see there is a definite color variation between those two. One lady at a liquor store I was talking to today said she did not actually like the new selection. She thought it tasted, for one, she thought it was had too much ethanol to it, and that it was too woody, is what she used. which is ironic because that's something I would look for and want in my drink, was something that had a little bit more of an oaky taste to it. I'm sure that's what she was kind of pointing towards. So I've got 2 of them poured. I was a little worried that this one, the higher proof one, the single barrel, was going to be a little bit hot on the neck pour. So I poured that out into that cup. I left it probably an hour and a half in that cup while I did some errands and everything. Had it capped so it wouldn't lose the ethanol. Opened it back up now. So I'm going to try these head to head and see how they come up on what Joe likes in a bourbon. So we'll give that a try. Okay, I'm back in my chair here. This is my spot I set every morning. You can't really see because out the other window is all my bird feeders. Sometimes when Rich and I film, one of us will be sitting there and you can see the different birds and everything going on there. It's been a rainy 3 days. We are blessed to have had the rain we did. I've got relatives that are only probably, 45 miles away from me. That, like last night we got a ½ inch of rain and they didn't even get a sprinkle. And we had gotten about 2.5 inches over the last 2 days before that, and they total got like about 3/4 of an inch, which is it's a good rainfall, but it's not like what we got. Some of it ran off, but the creeks and the rivers, they all need that rain too. They need to fill up and everything. It's good for the wildlife. But we've been blessed with it. It didn't harm my gardens any. You probably, if you watch Nancy and Craig's channel, I've got some big raised beds out on the one side. I've got tomato plants that are huge tomato plants. No tomatoes on them yet because I always snip them off early to make them grow big first. But I'm expecting just bushels of tomatoes come off those. So that takes that out. And like any bourbon enthusiast, if I get talking about something else like that, I can't even remember what I was talking about. So I'm just going to go back to what I was. So I've got the 2 bourbons, okay? And to know which one it is, if you've ever seen these cups, these are Glencairns. A lot of enthusiasts know these. You probably got a lot of them at home. I've got a cabinet that's got a shelf full of them. I've got the traditional. Now what you can see is how that edge comes up there and just kind of goes almost straight up on there. Okay, that's a standard Glencairn. Now, if you've got higher proof whiskeys, they sell this as a Glencairn. A second, let me get this one out of my hand. They got these, and they have an additional ring around them. And what I like about that is so when you have it, you can actually reach down below when you're doing your swirling to see how oily it is on the side, how well it hangs. You're not touching your hand to your bourbon, and you're not affecting the temperature. Now that's pretty deep. That's deeper than what Joe typically goes into. But what I like is if you see the top, I get that just right, how it flares up a little bit. On the higher ethanol bourbons, the higher proofs, the premise of these is that when you bring it up, it allows a little more of that strong ethanol to leave your nose and so you don't get that overpowering of the ethanol, and you can really get down into the meat of that high proof bourbon. And I really believe that helps, especially if you go up above 120 into the 130 range on them. I think it really makes a difference. And I'll do a pour and then I'll leave it for like 5 minutes, just giving it a swirl, let some of that, and sometimes I just give it a real slight blow just to pull that ethanol out and let new come up in and everything like that, because I want to get to the meat of that taste. And as an old guy that worked in a chemical plant, I don't have as good a nose as I should have for smelling bourbon. And if your nose isn't working that well, it's hard on your taste buds to taste it too. So, and Rich and I went over this before numerous times, but I really think that's part of the reason why I tend to prefer the higher proofs, because I get more flavor off of them. So that's where I'm at. So anyway, that's the 2 cups. And I'm using the one that should be used in each one, so I get the experience of the alcohol and the flavors and everything on the nose and vice versa. So I haven't done either one. Just a second. Okay, so these are port wine finished, and I definitely get a sweeter. It's not really grape, and port's a very strong wine. I think I don't kill me, bourbon or you wine enthusiast, but I believe isn't it just it's the class lower than mead. Port's it's pretty dark, and I don't mind drinking those. They make me really think of like strong grape juice. I know. Ooh, he said that, but that's what they get to me. And with that, I tend to the port finished ones. I get a little bit of sourness to them. I get that on the tongue, on the taste, a lot more than I do the nose. That just has it's a pretty good fruity smell. I mean, you'd smell that and you just like go, mmm. Now I'm going to hit the other one, and now this is a noticeable improvement or increase in the alcohol. Okay, one more time. Little trick I do. When you go to smell your bourbons, breathe in as almost as absolute slow as you can. Let it just come in natural. You don't want to swirl the ethanol in the cup with your breathing or thing. And you can pull a lot more sense off of it. I mean, I have to dig for those things. And I really get that off that. Now, I will say the sweetness is not in this 110 barrel selection. It might be later. This is a neck pour. I let it rest, but it's not like leaving it for a long time. So if I was going to grade them on smell, 86.6 proof wins. Never thought that would happen. But I got more scent off that than I did off of the 110 Angel Envy, off of the neck pour. So now we're going to go taste. Again, small sips. You don't want to take even a teaspoon in. Just a small sip, just enough. Let it coat your tongue, and then kind of go back to it. Take another swallow off of your tongue, and you can start to pull flavors and everything. I get the wine off that right away, and just like I said, I get that tinge of sourness, which puts me off a little bit. Finishes, there's a lot of other stuff I like that a lot of other people don't like. PX sherry casks. Oh my gosh, that sherry is unbelievable. And what is it? The Metallica whiskey. Uh, Blacken whiskey. It's technically not a bourbon. First one I got, I didn't even realize that. I thought it was bourbon, and I have two different kinds of it, but I really like it. And it is finished in blackberry sherry casks, and oh my word, that just extra little bit of profile really helps. So I can get that off that. I don't get a lot of flavor off of this, but at 86 proof, I don't expect a lot. This is a good beginner bourbon, man. You know, everybody that is starting, this is a good one to start with finished because you can smell it so much on your nose, and you can get it off of the palate too. So now I'm going to go that 110, see what happens with that. I don't have a cup of water here, and I only have two hands anyway, and I don't have anything to set it on really on either side because Joe's got his coffee mug still sitting there from this morning. But I'm going to give her a shot. I think I swished it around, my saliva around. I think I can get it. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, man. That, oh, just a second, just a second. I get that. Boy, I get a lot of ethanol heat, but I look past that. That is very, very flavorful. I think anybody that has ever had Angel Envy and likes that flavor profile, if you want to, now in Iowa, it's not cheap. And I'm not sure how much of this is available in other states, but I'm sure Angel Envy has barrel picks. You could maybe stop in on your local liquor store. They might have one that you could pick up. You need to do that. If you can get one at that 110 or range or a little bit higher, I would like to see this go up to like 120 to 124 proof to see what it is. Because those flavors came out, they steamrolled me. And I think with the higher proof, it burned off that like sour taste to me. And I get a little bit of the oakiness that girl was talking about at the Hy-Vee liquor store. But man, I don't get tons of it. And I don't really get that on my nose either. So I'm gonna tell you what. I paid a little more. I paid $96 for this because I bought it at a private liquor store. And I like to get some bottles at a place like that because, and it's liquor lovers again. If you haven't been there, it's the best place to go. You'll spend an hour in there with those guys. I guarantee it. If you like drinking, if you're an enthusiast of anything, they've got a huge selection of wines and vodkas and everything. You need to go in there if you're in Central Iowa. I can't remember his name. There was another big bourbon hunter that he was up there and did a big thing on it, was showing the stuff they had for a raffle and everything. Great time. But running a little long, I'm going to tell you, pick this up. Even if you haven't had Angel Envy before, but you like higher proof bourbons, and you see this is a definite grab. That bottle won't stay that high for long. I'll get a couple guys in here with me and we'll start sipping out of that, and that thing's gonna drop quite a bit. So it's great. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna close it out. Not really anything on birds today. So this is Joe. Don't forget, subscribe to Bourbons and Birds. We got a lot of videos gonna be coming out. Oh, and by the way, shout out to my nephew if he's watching and he's still there. He's a big Angel Envy fan, and I'm like, Tyler, you need to get this. This will be your new favorite over the standard Angel Envy. I'm making a big bet on that. So anyway, thanks for watching, and remember, bourbon's great, but don't let it rule you.